All right. So I just quickly wanted to record a video talking about what I did all of summer. Firstly, all of these videos are for a log for myself to look back to and understand and know what I did during the summer. But also, it just gives others a view of like how what people like me, like academics, do during the summer. So summer is a time where, again, traditionally, most academics in the US especially have 9-month contracts, meaning in summer you don't get paid unless you have your own funding. So, you have to get external funding to cover those 3 months. So June, July, August, and yeah, in my case, I have some funding, and so I'm covering some of my salary through that. Many others do it through the same way. But the good thing about summer is, it's a free time. Like, so you don't have any commitments, especially university-related commitments. There's no teaching, there's no faculty meetings, there's no official business going on during the summer because you're not officially paid. You're not expected to be there or participate. Obviously, I mean, that's also the time when you get the most time for your research. Otherwise, elsewhere, like during the semester, you're busy with your courses, service work, and other things. So summer is a good time. Okay, so what did I do this summer? Uh, I mean, can be divided into multiple buckets. So one is travel. So we start with the fun one. Like, okay, so I did do a lot of travel this summer. Summer started with like, so June 3rd was ICWSM, so I was there at ICWSM in Buffalo for a week. Then I was in July and June ICWSM, July IC2S2, 19th to 18th to 20th. And then immediately after that, I went to Singapore for a workshop, misinformation workshop. And then I did some personal travel. I went to Cambodia, visited Siem Reap, like which is in the south of Cambodia, where there's some very nice giant Hindu temples. They're all destroyed now, but it's really, really good. Like this was one of it's the world's largest Hindu temple, so that's really good. Then I went to Spain for KDD. This was in August, and in September I was in Pittsburgh a few weeks ago. So this was my summer travel. Like, I did do a lot of travel. Then in terms of work, okay, so basically, summer is also usually the time when people start big projects, new projects, and then try to get papers out of them. So one of the things, I had done was, okay, ICWSM deadline was on May 15th, and I really tried to push for that. We submitted 3 papers to that. So that was good. But then, two of those got rejected outright. And so in July, and so we had to find a place for them. So that was some work. One of them I just recently submitted to Kai. The other we are going to submit to www. We are making some improvements to that. This is on the Facebook data donation paper. Maybe I haven't talked about it, but I'll talk about it later, maybe during the www deadline. And the other paper had a revision, which we just submitted also. This is the paper in the Philippines on hate speech and so on. We just submitted a revision. I mean, it's a very borderline paper, so I don't know. I mean, touch wood. Hopefully, it'll get through. Fingers crossed. Then there was, I mean, originally the plan was I had 2 papers which are like single author papers that have been rejected or have like major revisions. And I, had every week I had a plan for to work on them. But these are single author papers, and I've worked on them like I don't know 6, 7 months ago, and I really don't get the motivation to get back to them. So those have been ignored to death for like a long, long, long time now. And obviously summer has come and gone, but I haven't had the chance to go through and revise them. And now the plan is I mean, obviously you cannot let them die. So the plan is to send them to some smaller workshop somewhere, hopefully to get them published, without a lot more additional work. I don't have it in me to do more work, at least just not motivating. if there's someone else, like you can, have some responsibility sharing and things like that. It's all me, so which is not my style of work. So I don't know. I don't feel like, really going back and working on them. So those two papers, okay, they got ignored. Then the big thing that took a lot of time, a lot of effort, was this career grant submission. So career NSF career is a very, very prestigious grant. So, I mean, any other NSF funding is like prestigious, like, but career, particularly individual, so it's all about what you are going to do in the next 5 years. So it's going to be big picture thinking, like high level, very innovative, very high stakes kind of thing. So, and this was my first time, and you only get three trials for that. Like, so you try it for 3 times, and then you either get it or not before your tenure. You can only apply before your tenure. So this was my first try. I mean, it was a lot of work, like especially okay from every point. Like, so thinking about this, doing everything yourself, but also it has to be big enough and novel enough, but continuing from your work. So you have to show that, okay, I've done this work, I will build on top of it to do this work, right? Like, so it has to have that, but it also needs to be achievable. You cannot just say, okay, I'll go to Mars, right? Like, so that is not an achievable goal for someone like me. So it has to be achievable, but still like big enough. So that'll take a lot of thinking, a lot of planning, a lot of writing. It's around 15 pages of writing, so not that big, but still it takes a lot of effort. And the other thing was in general, like the amount of paperwork that it takes to get to your NSF kind of submissions is huge. Like yes, I don't know, hundreds of emails exchanged with a big team of people who are working, budgets, like, or whatever, like this. I probably had 100 meetings or so with our grants team to get this done. So that was a lot of effort. Took probably a month and a half, fully working just on that, like without focusing on anything else. So that took a lot of effort. I mean, takes me a bit more than usual. I've seen, people say that they wrote it in like 2 weeks or so, full time effort. For me it took a lot more time. Just I mean, parts of it are easy, like okay, you can say, okay, you can develop, I've done this, I'll do this next year I'll do this. But want to say something really, really big and interesting for the big picture, like 5 years from now, that needs a lot more effort and a lot of revision. So that was that. Another big thing that I did during the summer, obviously, a lot of planning for this went before the summer, but during the summer it was all operational. So, we were collecting data from WhatsApp during the Indian election, which happened during, April, May, June. Uh, so that was like horrible period. Like, it was everything that had to go wrong went wrong, and like so many like phone calls and frantic messages to me and from me, like and luckily, okay, touch wood, like that data set collection went well. And now, we are also during the summer planning how to extend that to the US elections that are coming. And, again, I filled a lot of paperwork to get some funding and to get some internal approvals that just got approved, like, 2, 3 months later. So now I'm working on like doing something for the US election. Hopefully that will pan out. But yeah, so that happened also during the summer, planning for a lot of that. Uh, yeah, so basically, okay, let me just quickly take a look at my calendar if there's anything that I forgot. So June was all about sort of planning. Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of these sorts of studies that were planned that either died out or are in state of limbo. We did one on like Facebook, large scale data collection during the Indian election, but okay, it didn't go anywhere. And I think the student just couldn't. I mean, it was a bunch of factors. And then the next thing, let's see, is yeah, I mean, we worked on some papers that are this ChatGPT paper that went to Kai this year. Like that's good. There's some papers that we're still working on that might go to dub. Um, and yeah, I also submitted a grant to Google Research, the big grant, like I mean, big for Google style type of industry grants, like 150K. I had a lot of effort for that also, like planning on, reaching out to internal contacts, some of them ditching me, some of them responding, but I have to plan and all of that stuff. Like, let's see again, touch wood, fingers crossed, hope that works. And then, yeah, lots of travels, obviously, getting the visa for them, that took like 2 or 3 full days, like going to the fucking Spanish visa appointment, booking that visa was such an anxious thing. Um, yeah, okay, that's it. Like basically, that was the summer. I'll record something else for what I did this week soon.